Minecraft got big when I was in middle school, I think. And I tried to play it one time and I literally spent 30 minutes stuck on a pig and I raged out so hard I never played it ever again.
What do you mean you were stuck on a pig?
I have no idea. You can, yeah.
But what do you mean you were stuck
but
riding
I
the
couldn't
pig?
get off of it. And I guess after 30 minutes, I finally pressed the space bar and I got off and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
That wasn't the first button you clicked?
No, I'm not a gamer.
This is the Off the Break Podcast, your podcast dedicated to current movie theater news, operations, and insights from the people that book the movies. Now, here are your hosts, Cody, Kyle, and Ken.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Chicken jockey.
Oh.
Let's go! Welcome back to another episode of Off the Break Podcast, where ourselves and I think many other theaters out there are celebrating the big opening that came from Minecraft. So a little Minecraft reference that I learned over the weekend that I had to toss in there. Needless to say, despite just turning 30, I feel pretty hip. I'm feeling pretty young these days.
You're doing great, Kyle.
She says, backing away from the mic.
Yep.
So yeah, we're gonna need to talk about Minecraft, don't you think, guys?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Because that was a big opening. 160 million practically.
Yeah.
Totally unexpected. That was double what we thought it was going to do.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Minecraft has been big for what, the last 10 years?
Yeah,
15 years almost? That obviously this movie was a matter of time to be made in the first place, but also just knowing that this will be one of the movies of the year that we're going to look back on and be like, that was the big pop for audiences. That's when we're going to have the most boost in business. And I'm sure that many theaters out there, probably your guys' clients as well, are celebrating just how big of an opening that was and how big of a deal it was for to be able to play that.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
It took some people a little convincing because some people just didn't understand or knew what Minecraft was. And so we'd say, no, guys, trust us. It's going to be big.
I get
Didn't
it.
expect it to be this huge, but it's a game. Just ask your kids, ask people around, even not just kids, adults too, but just ask what it is. Trust us.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. And it was incredible.
Yeah.
Just like myself, I don't understand anything. I don't know what chicken jockey means necessarily. I've seen the image of it now, but
They're scary, man.
I don't know what it's a reference to.
They're scary.
But despite that, it doesn't matter whether you know the reference or not. What matters is the money. And the money, I hope, is well worth it, because on top of the successes that we're seeing from its opening, we are also seeing complaints from this movie as well. Mainly hearing a lot of horror stories, whether it's through some of our clients or whether it's through the outlets or just the industry as a whole, just talking about how audiences just love cheering and yelling and having popcorn in the air, we've heard water balloons.
Yeah, apparently.
I've seen reports of police officers coming in to quiet everyone down because the staff just cannot stop the mayhem that was going on. I went on a deep dive this morning on TikTok videos and Reddit, just hearing about the stories coming out through this. And is anyone tired yet? Is anyone tired of Minecraft yet, do you think, in the industry after the big weekend that we just had?
I mean, their screens and their projectors are at risk. People are throwing crazy stuff at the screens, like water balloons, and they're having water squirters and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so sad. A movie can get so huge, but they can't, people just can't reel themselves in enough to respect, people's venues.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that it's all one thing to be excited for a movie, right?
Yeah.
It was so incredible to have people excited and that, but to bring water balloons and water guns and to be shoot either at the screen or up top, that's just a major sign of disrespect, and it's just so unfortunate because it makes people go, no, we can't hold this.
Yeah.
Because our theater's at risk, which is so sad.
Exactly. It is sad.
It's not surprising to a degrue that
with the
a
age group.
movie tailor-made for the age group is going to have
chaos.
just pure chaos when it comes to that. However, I think it is clearly excessive now that I'm 30 years old and
Yes.
officially an
You've
adult.
reached that point, Kyle.
Where I'm like, these darn kids and their darn video games. Wired their brains wrong or whatever. I did kind of have that moment where I was like, is it the video games that are causing?
I don't know.
But I think it's a mixture of things. Obviously, there's an age thing, so even no matter what the movie is, if it's tailor-made for that demographic, you're always going to have kids and even teens just not understanding, and unfortunately young adults as well, just not understanding etiquette, especially in the movie theater, especially maybe growing up at a time to where they're not going out to the theater as often as a few years ago. And on top of that too, I kind of had this realization when just seeing what people were talking about with this movie through Reddit, and someone made a good point that we're seeing that entertainment is not just coming from movies, but it's also coming from YouTube or just coming from our computers and our phones. But entertainment a lot is coming from streamers playing video games, reacting to their video games, which means that the audiences that are watching them are also reacting in real time to whatever they're reacting to. So it's almost like normalized, possibly normalized in a lot of younger people that they're just going to have that initial reaction type of behavior in a public setting as well, and not just when it comes to being at home or just on their phones watching streamers. And even with movies as well, there's been an increase I've seen on YouTube where there are movie commentators where they watch a movie and they don't show the whole movie, but they edit it down enough to where like commentary tracks are, they're recording their own commentary along with the movie. And those have become popular as well. And that, I'm not saying like that's the root cause instead of like blaming the darn video games on the youths type of thing, but behavioral wise, like it does make a little bit of sense, but no, to the degrees that we're seeing, like it feels just so chaotic compared to even when the Avengers hype was happening, or even when the Barbenheimer hype was happening. Like the closest I could think of is that Minions trend that was happening, one of the Minions movies, the Gentle Minions trend. But even still, they didn't really cause that much chaos that I can remember. Maybe a bit of rowdiness, but even still, they just dressed up in suits.
Exactly.
I think theater etiquette in general is just going downhill.
Yeah,
because there's nobody there to even say anything. Like, again, some of these theaters have like no staff. Sometimes it's just two people, like a husband and wife or mom, pop, whoever. And so they don't have the people to go in and say, hey, stop, and to be there continuously, but also run the theater and all these things. So I think it's just a lost art of people just don't have respect for other people's space because they think they just can do whatever they want because they paid to be there.
And it's a copycat thing. They see it once on TikTok and it blows up and they're like,
and then they're surrounded by a bunch of other people too who think the same thing, and then it's just...
That's a really good point as well. Just copycat behavior. The thing about wanting to trend or being part of a trend is also very massive. I mean, Barbenheimer is a good example of being part of a moment, being part of a trend, which had great results, obviously. But this level of degree, again, for the age demographic, it was going to happen. But to the amount that we're seeing, just seems it unhinged is what it feels like. So the successes are great, but also just the headaches that were caused by the owners, the staff. I just can't even imagine it.
I know. Oh my gosh. It's so terrible. If you're a 13-year-old boy listening to this, get a hold of yourself.
Just a little bit. And
rein it in.
And that even if some 13-year-old stumbled onto our video and is watching this, they've seen the headlines. Like, people have talked about it on TikTok. They've seen people on the news, the stuffy news anchors being like, these kids and their Minecrafts, and it's gonna feed. Like, they're gonna enjoy because they're gonna be like, we're just having fun, and of course you're having fun. Like, obviously you can. It's a movie, but it is very disappointing to see that it was just such an unhinged nature behind it.
You can clap and yell and stuff. I feel like that's the movie for it, but just don't destroy people's property. Realize that people are cleaning up after you. There's got to be a line, and people are definitely crossing it.
For 13-year-old boys, they don't know what that means. Sad as is to say.
They should know.
No, definitely. No, I agree.
Part of growing up. I made stupid
part of growing up, and you need to learn that a lot more. I know I did.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so are you guys seeing at all just the regret coming from some of your clients perhaps on playing this movie or not wanting to go further? Because obviously with the massive opening that we're seeing coming out of Minecraft, it's not going to slow down, I don't think, unless if this behavior is so widespread that even parents are going to be like, I'm not going with you.
Yeah,
like that's the only way I could see it being such a massive drop off. I don't think we're really anticipating a big drop off despite like the big opening number that we received, but I mean this could play all through April very well until Thunderbolts at the start of May. But do you see theaters at all just kind of cringing at that idea?
A lot of people do, which is it's hard because these don't come around super often.
Yeah,
and so it's incredible to have this much, product, this product hitting so big as it did. And so, but a lot of people, even though the money speaks, just don't want to hold something like that, even no matter what. They just don't want to hold the same thing for a while.
Okay,
that's just our small town.
With us doing singles and twins.
Oh, for sure.
It's hard because you have the same thing for 3 weeks, and that's all you can do. So of course you want to shake it up, but at the same time, it's nice to celebrate how much money you made.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think people need to get in the mind space of, even though it's a new movie, it's not worth dropping from like $1,000 potential gross to like opening a new movie to $300, even if it is new content.
Especially with the past 3 months that we've seen, like some good, some not so good, but
it's been horrible.
Yeah,
it's been rough.
It's been so bad. They should be wanting this movie forever. Oh man!
And then we were so close to just writing it out.
I know.
Yep.
And then these darn kids and their video games.
We had a good thing going.
Do you guys?
You millennial, jeez.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get some New Balance, some white New Balance shoes after I'm done here.
Please don't.
I've heard they're super comfortable. Do you guys know any Minecraft references at all? Do you guys know anything about that game?
Yeah.
Help me get with the youth. Make it myself younger.
I mean, I guess I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know. But
have you played it? Because you're the gamer out of all of us. What do you do?
It's a really chill game, honestly.
I don't believe that.
It is.
We've seen the proof. There's videos out there.
Listen, how people go that crazy, I don't understand. Because my experience of it is just building. Like, you mine stuff and blocks. Obviously, that's the base of it. But I think the main core that I take away from it is the creativity that you can build whatever you want.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so to be able to have such an access to a bunch of different stuff, and there's a survivability to it with like all the creatures and stuff and creepers and everything. I don't know, just from when I played it, the music is super chill too. That's my experience. So I don't know how people are going this insane. But I mean, yeah, chicken jockeys are a thing, but
I saw one TikToker, or just, I don't know, a guy on TikTok, who was just describing how it was like a Beatles concert on sugar.
Yeah.
Just because every single thing,
Jeez.
whether Jack Black or Momoa did, whatever line they were saying, whatever popped up on screen that was just a block shape, was just the craziest thing that the audience could imagine.
That's so wild. That's just so funny to me. I mean, I don't know.
Even the Marvel movies didn't throw in that many references.
No.
I can guarantee you that much.
Well, and there's references, I'm sure, to like streamers and such. Like I know there was a big one who passed away, and so they had put elements of his channel in there, which is super sweet.
Which one did?
Technoblade, I think.
Oh,
their name
why
was.
did I ask?
I know what.
Like, oh yeah, Kyle, you watched?
Well, I mean, rest in peace to him, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, so they did sweet stuff like that, and I don't know. I think it's cool to have that many Easter eggs in there and things make a movie even more fun.
Sure, but at what cost?
But again,
At
for
what
the
cost?
insanity of
No.
it, I can't connect with. I don't understand.
I may be able to see it because one time, Minecraft got big when I was in middle school, I think, and I tried to play it one time, and I literally spent 30 minutes stuck on a pig, and I raged out so hard I never played it ever again.
What do you mean you were stuck on a pig?
I have no idea. You can,
But what do you mean you were stuck
But
riding
I
the
couldn't
pig?
get off of it. And I guess after 30 minutes, I finally pressed the space bar and I got off and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
That wasn't the first button you clicked?
No, I'm not a gamer. I'm not.
Oh no.
I mean, apart from the references, apart from just the build of anticipation for a Minecraft movie, I also wonder if maybe this is a case of movie so bad but so good. I haven't seen the movie. I have no idea if it is, how good it is. But I do wonder if there is that thing of like just channeling in that spirit of being self-aware and ironic about it.
Well, I mean, and Andy was the director behind Napoleon Dynamite, right?
Yes.
So there's still like...
He had a quote, by the way, that made me mad about this movie, but continue first with what you were
saying. Say that.
Oh, there was some reporter that was saying like, hey, have you watched the TikToks? Have you seen, da-da-da about people freaking out during the movie? And he's like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Although I think it's weird that cops are called for people throwing popcorn at the screen or whatever. And I'm like, it's not like, again, my old man thing came out. I was like, it's not that it was just the popcorn. Like it was,
if popcorn's being thrown, then God knows what else.
But like the stories of just, water balloons being thrown at screens and at each other. Like there was a video where like a live chicken was somehow in the screen. I don't know how you sneak that in. I'm like, these are the things where, is it that dire for like the officers to come into play? No, but I get it if like you can't.
There's other people in the theater besides yourself.
Exactly.
And so some people.
The poor parents that just want to take some kid.
Yeah.
Not some kid, their kid, to see. Yeah, don't do that. Make sure it's a kid in your family.
Oh my God, this is getting unhinged. Holy cow.
Look what Minecraft's done to me.
This train is derailing.
Look at you. You're a different person now.
Take some kid. Okay.
Take your own kid.
Oh man. God.
But you know what I mean with like what he was saying? I was like, obviously it's not just the popcorn thing, guy.
No.
Okay, but that was probably the highlight of the officers' night. Like marching out 12-year-old boys and being like
way better compared to I don't
trying
know,
to capture
murder.
a chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anyway, glad that we had that success nonetheless. Hopefully theaters can ride this out a bit more before we get to a calmer movie like a Marvel movie.
Okay, moving on.
Not wrong about that.
Wow.
All right, so we're back from CinemaCon.
We are, yay.
There's your transition. My second time going, your guys is first. Obviously, we talked beforehand about your excitement for it and just what it's going to be interesting to be a part of. So I just thought if you guys wanted to share your thoughts about your first time going or like some of the highlights, if you wanted to pick and choose some things, just round robin this out and, share what you guys thought about the whole thing.
I mean, this was also Shayla's first time in Vegas in general, so.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Then let's start there. How was that?
Vegas was all right. Meeting everybody in Vegas was really cool. I really loved that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vegas is not my scene. The food was way too expensive. My husband got food poisoning. It was a lot.
Was it from the food in Caesars? Did we ever discover that, or was it outside of Caesars?
I don't know. He was eating so much food.
Yeah.
So expensive. But he did get food poisoning from somewhere in Vegas.
I felt so bad. And it was like near the end of the trip.
It was to the end too, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He wasn't around people like we all were, so like he wasn't even gonna get like sick unlike the rest of us did.
Exactly.
And then he just gets food poisoning, the poor guy.
I know.
But I agree with you about Vegas. It's not my scene either. Just obviously there's other stuff outside of like the Strip and Vegas that would have been cool to check out. But
oh yeah, the desert, the surrounding area looked gorgeous. Like out of the plane, we were like staring down and looking at the scenery, and like we just wanted to go there. It's just not my scene anymore, especially as a mom. I feel like it changes your brain chemistry so much that fun things are just not fun anymore.
Is it just like growing up a lot? Is it just like the growing up part of it, or just like the protective aspects of like being a mom, or mixture of both? Or
the protective aspects, I think. And it was hard to find like things for kids to do. And I was
on the Strip for sure.
Yeah. When I had my time off, all I wanted to do was be with my son. And then we went out walking, and there were like a bunch of weirdos dressed as like cartoon characters. With like super dirty costumes.
What's wrong with a Tuesday?
Well, they were just asking for money, and we were like, "Oh my god!"
Oh sure, yeah.
So bad.
We don't exactly have that here in Montana.
No,
we don't.
A lot quieter streets.
Yeah. But it was really great. The food was really expensive, but very good.
Yeah.
The drinks were very good. Meeting everybody, seeing How to Train Your Dragon, the live action one, was really awesome.
Yeah.
The celebrities were pretty cool. Not to be a fan.
No, but like
You be a fan of
a
celebrities.
few of those celebrities, like Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Cruise, Halle Berry, they just you when you see them in person, you're like, oh, that's what makes a movie star.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
They just walk out and they're glowing, and you know there's a giant light shine on them, but like, the
but
light
they're
is somehow
so
brighter.
Still, though.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
strange because not that I was like getting tongue tied over like seeing celebrities or whatever, but even still, I was like, I get it now.
Yeah, for sure.
There is such thing as like a screen presence.
Well,
Yeah.
and then like I liked seeing like their personalities of presenting and stuff. I was
Yeah.
really impressed by like Channing Tatum when he came out and he was just saying how appreciative he was of the industry and the people in it over and over again. You're like, I don't know if he's acting, but that's a sweet man right there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is funny watching the celebrities read off the teleprompter.
yeah.
And some of them
Some
go
of
in a
them
little
just
blind.
going in.
It was a little clunky.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
like,
hilarious.
Well,
I was like, what is
dying.
happening?
I was like, what was that transit? Like, that's a transition. Okay.
For real. But Channing Tatum seemed like he was actually thanking the people.
No, so I think a lot of them were genuine. Some of them were just reading it and then left, which,
Yeah.
you know, that's fine.
I kind of
Yeah.
figured this going in, but I have a feeling most, whether it's their agents or who else, but someone is not telling some of these celebrities like what the conference is.
Yeah, or where they're
probably
at.
not,
Yeah, they're like, hello, CinemaCon. I hope to see you at the movie theater. And I'm like, they're theater owners. They're there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all they do. Of course they're going to be there.
Yeah.
So I just roll my eyes at some of those lines. I was like, you gotta let them know a bit more of like, this is the audience. Don't talk to like the journalists. Don't talk to the influencers. Talk to the theater owners.
Well, and not that
Yeah.
you want to encourage people to go off script, because that can always go who knows where.
Yeah.
But it was fun
Yeah.
to have people like deviate and be like, hey, no, this is da da da.
Yeah,
I was like, that was
for
nice.
Sure, yeah, there was the occasional moment of that for sure, but there were, again, just those moments where it was clear that they were like, where am I?
I know.
What day
When they
is it?
like threw the Beatles cast on the stage and they were like, "What? Where are we?" Like,
Yeah.
that was the funniest
Walk
part of
on,
the whole
look
thing.
pretty, walk
yeah.
off.
They were like looking at each other and laughing. It was like,
They're like, who are these people?
where even are we right now?
Well, especially on stage, like obviously the audience isn't lit, so it's just probably darkness that they're looking into. They're
yeah,
like, we
for
don't,
sure.
we don't know who this could be.
There could be 5 people out there. Like,
That Beatles news about wanting to have all 4 of the Beatles
in 1
movies in
month.
1 month. I mean, I know that's 3 years from now. Something will probably change out of that. I don't know what, but that just seems ambitious to try to book them all in 1 month.
It's going to be a booking night. That was so funny. As soon as they
That was my
announced
first
that,
thought.
all of us just went, oh no.
Everyone
this is going
was-
to be a booking nightmare.
Everyone was cheering around us because they were
yeah,
like,
'cause they were
4
hyped for the
Beatles
movie.
movies. I
Whoa.
love the Beatles.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we're like, this is
Oh,
going to
God.
be a disaster
I
down
know.
the road.
how are you going to market the Beatles to Gen Z and Gen Alpha enough for them to go out?
I
to
mean,
the
unfortunately, you're kind of right.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. They are really an incredible band.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
are,
of course, yeah.
They are one of the only bands that I actually like the covers more than the actual music, though. So I feel like that's a shift.
I agree, actually. What, Kyle?
No, I don't
Are
know.
you a
Like,
Beatles
it's just no, not a diehard Beatles fan, but I like the Beatles. I just wouldn't
Yeah, of course.
I would just wouldn't be like the covers are A plus.
It is,
no
though. I
notes.
feel like that's the Gen
Improvement.
Z switch, though, for real. Like,
No, I'm sure that, but you're kind of right, and you're kind of just helping with the case of like, you know, this may not be the big smash that maybe it once was.
yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, Queen was able to do it. Why not the Beatles?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that
exactly.
was also a few years ago. What about you, Alyssa? I know that this wasn't your guys' first time going to Vegas, but
No,
just,
I love Vegas. But that's the city in me, I think.
yeah.
I love it. I love being around all the people and seeing all the things, and the hotels are gorgeous and
Yeah.
a blast to walk through.
Mm-hmm.
So that aside, it was a blast. It was great to meet everyone in person that we'd been emailing with, and just, I don't know, reminding everyone that we're all just humans.
Yes.
You know, at the end of the day, to sit down and have lunch with everybody was just like, yeah, you have all the same problems I do.
Right.
Whatever. It was cool to connect that way.
That was a sigh of relief. Like, it wasn't a lot of business talk, luckily. I mean, some have been on the side, but it was nice just to meeting a lot of these people that work far away from us on a more personal level.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that's needed, not just for, building relationships and like working with a person, but it's also just healthy.
Yeah,
we can't
absolutely.
You got to see people in person
that
and
FaceTime.
not just through FaceTimes and emails and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So it was just great meeting all those people. Like, a lot of our clients we saw, studio people we got to see. Just really cool. And then, did you guys, maybe you guys already said this, did you like any of the presentations? Have a favorite in mind, or the Coliseum in general, did you enjoy?
Oh, Coliseum was excellent.
Awesome.
I've never seen a show or anything there, but that was incredible to see
I know.
with the sound and the screen. Was
The
so
layout
much fun.
was really cool.
The layout was great.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had a favorite. It was really cool to see something screened, like to see How to Train Your Dragon was
For sure.
a very cool experience.
Yeah.
I was honestly really impressed with Amazon and MGM, because we were trying to think like, oh, hey, what are they going to have? Like, we know the Accountant 2 is coming, but what else are they going to have? And they showed a lot.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed with the amount of product that they teased, whether it was trailers or whatnot, was impressive to me with the amount. And I would see every one of those movies.
Absolutely. And I felt it kind of like made me think about the beginning of studios and how they start off with like funding artists and creating new IP and stuff like that, and how it kind of dwindles down to just being hooked on the franchises and stuff like that.
Remember what you remember.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm glad that you brought that up about Amazon, because that probably was one of my highlights. I believe that was their first presentation.
I think that's what
CinemaCon.
they said.
That sounds right. Because they haven't been around after purchasing MGM. Anyway, they did a really good job with the presentation, and like you guys were saying, it's not IP driven stuff, at least in the near future. Although, I mean, James Bond is obviously around.
Yes.
They teased that, but nothing else beyond that. But between I remember reading, and we probably talked this on the podcast before, that Amazon is hoping to really have a lot of product in the next 3 years, like 15 movies a year or something like that.
Yeah.
Not that they were showing like that many movies coming out in the next 3 years, but it did give me a bit of hope that they are putting their money where their mouth is. Yes. And they especially want to tailor towards stuff outside of IP.
Yeah.
Which we need a lot more of. Obviously, they're going to make stuff for streaming too, but we just need more and more diversity in terms of product for audiences outside of those who like their IP, or outside of those younger demographics. So
yeah.
I don't know. I was impressed by their presentation, and Sony's was kind of that way too. It seems like it's filmmaker and outside of IP driven stuff for the short while at least.
Yeah, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
what about you? What was your favorite part?
Yeah, like you guys were saying, I love going to the Coliseum because the presentation and the quality is just so good that everything looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like the Smurfs movie is playing, and it's not for me, obviously, but I'm like, that's the greatest trailer I've ever seen. And then I got a headache after the sugar rush that I got from that movie. I'm 30.
And the goodie bag. Oh my God, I've never seen so much candy in my life, by the way.
The goodies. It's so nice that they do that, but the amount of candy is crazy that they had. So anyway, the Coliseum I really enjoy doing, and it's a nice break to have everyone be excited for like the future of cinema as well, and outside of like just talking to people, like we were saying. Dinner at Nobu was fun. We got to do that for a night. Shayla took me to see BattleBots, which Alyssa, you just missed out on.
You really did. It was so cool.
I hadn't hung out with Austin, okay? We had a little date lunch.
Okay. Yeah, I know. That's sweet.
Yep,
I crashed her date. It's fine.
Oh no, it was so awesome to have you there. I was like,
no, it was a great time.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Well, I thought it was gonna be, I don't know, like a. Have you guys seen How I Met Your Mother?
I've just seen parts, but I've heard you talk about this.
Okay, so there's an episode where the group of friends on the show go see Robots versus Wrestlings, and it's like robots attacking like wrestlers, obviously. And I thought it was going to be something aligned with that. But then I realized it was like a kids show. And it was a kids show like on Comedy Central. And now it's on YouTube. And we were being filmed for it. Yeah. So like the camera's on me. I'm like, what's
I know.
We got to watch the episode.
And then they're cheering like, do more math or something.
Yeah, exactly. It is so kid oriented.
Yeah, it's
and then
kid oriented.
They blow shit up. Like they destroyed a slot machine. Like
they did destroy a slot machine. With fire. I don't know. There's a lot of fire involved.
It was crazy.
But they're just engineers who also like wrestling, and it was fun. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's cute.
For sure, it was very cute.
So anyway, obviously we had a very fun time. So anyway, let's get a move on to our next topic, which is a movie coming out in May called Rust. Shayla, were you able to catch it?
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
Okay, I was able to. So at least there's two of us among us.
Yeah.
But it's about a 13-year-old boy in the Wild West on the run from the law, and he has his estranged grandfather save him essentially to like take him away, so that way the law or like these bounty hunters don't get the young boy because he killed a man trying to save his younger brother.
He was trying to shoot a dog or a wolf or something.
Yeah,
something like that.
Did I say it wrong? I probably said it wrong then.
I don't know. I mean, I watched part of it. It's just so dark and heavy. It's hard to like keep track of all the storylines.
It's not a happy movie.
No.
It's not a happy Western.
In all regards.
But that part really confused me a little bit. Because I was like, what?
Yeah.
Did they shoot him on purpose? Like, what happened? Like, I feel like...
Was it a frame job?
Yeah, exactly. But it was just heavy. It was dark. But I mean, I can see where fans of Westerns would really like it. But in the beginning with the brothers, when they're like two brothers that live alone in the Wild West, and they're like, I was like breaking my heart. Like
they should be with their mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I did enjoy it, but it is like a darker Western. So and also a slow watch. I didn't really like the pacing of it, but I think the highs in that movie and the quality of the movie were very impressive to me. Alec Baldwin in the end, I think, sold me as like a lone cowboy. Unfortunately, I'm at the age where I'm like post 30 Rock Alec Baldwin, where that's kind of what I see him. Obviously, I've seen him in other things, more dramatic things, but I still am like Alec Baldwin.
Yeah,
you know,
30 Rock.
But I think he did won me over in the end, and I did like him and the young boy's journey and just the roughness of the Wild West that was shown through that movie. It's from Falling Forward Films. I would recommend it if you just want something else to play and something that is lower budget but a bit more high quality. I would say go with that one for month of May if you're able to make it happen. So yeah, any other thoughts from you?
I didn't even realize it was that like low budget or anything. The quality of the film was really good. Like the way they filmed it and everything, and the scenery was gorgeous. But yeah, I did think it was a good movie too.
Yeah. Just I mean, I'm kind of assuming that it was lower budget.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just, you know, from what we see throughout the industry, most movies that come our way when it comes to bookings are like lower budget films. So I was just getting impressed by what people can accomplish with little and just be creative with it. So
for sure.
Anyway, now that we're back on the show, we have to quickly wrap things up by talking about the popcorn bucket pick, which was Silent Runnings.
Silent Running.
Sci-fi movie from the 1970s. Anyone want to go first?
You know, I'll start with, I really respect where it's coming from, and I think it was ahead of its time, I would say. With production, set value, some of the things in the story, I can appreciate it. But holy, it is not for me.
No.
It was incredibly slow.
Yeah.
And everything exciting, I guess, happened in the first, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. And then he's alone in space with two robots. Yeah. Which, I mean, that's always, like, fun and can be cute. But even so, I was like, oh, my God, nothing's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And continue. And then with the ending, I was like, okay, what was it all for, my guy? Like, I was not about it.
I liked his crash out about the cantaloupe and the food.
Yeah, honestly.
That was funny.
Just seeing Bruce Dern freaking out over just the environment and just yelling at everyone.
Yeah.
Like, part of it was funny, but part of it, like, living in today's world, I'm like, yeah, yell a little louder, yell a little more, please.
No, that's
and
why,
ahead of its time, like you were saying.
In that regard. But.
Yeah, it's just funny seeing a movie that is, like, truly sci-fi, and especially when sci-fi was kind of the times.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 years before this was 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And the next year, we landed on the moon.
Oh, damn.
This is a crazy time.
And then 72.
That's awesome.
that just quick side tangent. That was me watching 2001 for the first time, was realizing the year the movie was made. And I was like, they made that before we landed on the moon.
Yeah.
Like, we were in the space race part of things.
Yeah.
But we didn't see people land on the moon yet. And then 2001 came out before that.
That's crazy.
Which, by the way, obviously is a fantastic movie. Silent Running, not so much. But it is trying to invoke, like, what 2001 kind of does with the slow burn sci-fi, like the existentialness of, like, our lives and just life in general. I like the environmental stuff. I agree with you. Like, the pacing, like, is not doing it any favors.
No.
But it is funny, just like design wise and costume wise, production wise, just how everything in this movie leads up towards Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Which I guess, obviously, Star Wars comes from many different types of genres and things, but just this movie, I was not expecting that until we heard about it. So just looking at pictures and then watching the movie, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot more of these types of sci-fi movies also lean up to Star Wars that do that too. So it also wasn't really my cup of tea in the end anyway, although I appreciate, like, the theme that I was trying to do. And like The Last Unicorn, where you listen to the songs, you listen to the music.
I liked that. I thought it was so 70s.
I did it again. I did it again.
And I'm like, God.
Well, okay, I was watching it while I was doing work, and actually it was really lovely to have in the background.
I could not do it. Yeah. I was like, I know Shayla's having a great time right now, and I am struggling.
70s, and then the fat squirrel in the beginning. I was like, that's the fattest squirrel I've ever seen.
And then a hawk flies down. I'm like, oh my God, what else is in this dome?
I love the vibe, honestly.
Oh my God.
Maybe not every movie you're meant to just sit down and watch. You're meant to do other things while the movie's playing.
Oof.
Then that's the best compliment you could ever give it.
Okay.
All right, guys, which one of you wants to draw from the bucket?
That's you.
Okay.
Go for it. We only got two left
We
now.
got two left. One
Ken
is
said
yours.
he'll fire us
Yep.
if we don't pick his.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm willing this into existence.
Notting Hill.
Not mine.
Yeah, I love this movie. It's not mine. That's Ken's then.
Okay.
Now, which one is that? You want
safe.
What? Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts, right? Am I thinking of the right one?
Oh. Yes, you
Yes.
are.
Oh, what a classic.
Did Ken pick this?
This is a great
Did I
classic
pick this?
rom-com.
Let me see
Wait.
the handwriting.
Okay, here's...
Oh, that's you.
Oh my God, that's mine.
Oh no, I'm done for.
What you put in?
It was
Because
like
you haven't seen it.
It was like 2 weeks. I haven't seen it, and it was also like 3 weeks ago.
I'm so excited for
Because
this.
it was 3 weeks ago. I remember it now. We both had the birdcage, so I had to swap mine.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I was in the mood for something lighter. So I somehow came across Notting Hill, but that's definitely my handwriting. I thought it was a different movie. So I was like, oh, that must be
really?
Ken's. Just in this moment. I was
okay.
I thought it was a different movie. So that's why I thought it was Ken's. I'm sorry, Ken.
Sorry, Ken.
He's
Please
going to be
don't fire
very
us.
upset.
I
Yeah.
know.
We tried to will it into existence.
We did.
Yeah, but Notting Hill is a great choice.
Okay, I hope so.
I-
Well, not for Ken. He's
I
going to
think
be.
it's hilarious, and it's just a fun Hugh Grant rom-com.
Okay.
Like, it's fun.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Ken won't be on this next week's episode, so just a heads up for you
Womp
guys. But nonetheless, some of us will be back for our next episode. Stay strong when it comes to Minecraft, and we have some other movies coming out this weekend, like Drop and The Amateur.
King of Kings.
King of Kings, Warfare. So,
Yep.
it's going to be a good April just because we have all those high-quality movies on top of Minecraft itself. So, here we go.
Yeah.
On to the next.
On to the next.
Sweet.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Off the Break Podcast. Find us on all podcast platforms and be sure to like and follow our Facebook and Instagram pages at Off the Break Podcast.